This is part 3 of our sweet corn grow along, and today we're going to look at getting these planted out. They are very well rooted now and definitely need to either go out into the beds or be potted on like we spoke about last time. Before I do this, the first thing I'm going to do is get these really soaking and make sure that they are well watered before they go out. These plants have been hardened off as well for the last few days, so if you haven't done that yet, then go back a step to video 2 and make sure that that's done first. They are a more tender plant, so skipping that could really make them sulk, which we want to discourage, and we want to let them thrive and get growing as quickly as possible now. The spacing for these today is around a foot. I'm not going to measure, but roughly a foot between each one of them. Because they're wind pollinated, it is really important that we make sure that they have enough space for the pollination to happen, and it is important that they are planted in a grid, not in a line. If you've got them in pots, then just try and make sure that those pots are placed closely together to make sure that the plants are around a foot away if possible. Another thing I need to do today before I get these in is prepare the bed. So the bed that I've had the potatoes in also had another previous crop in there, so it probably needs a little bit of extra nourishment to make sure that these sweet corn do well. So I'm going to be using some chicken manure today, but you could also use bloodfish and bone and things like that, or I could add an inch of compost. Because I'm going to add manure in the autumn, I'm going to just go for the chicken manure today and be following the instructions on the packet of how much to use in that area. To prepare this bed, I'm adding the chicken manure pellets, and then I'm going to hoe those in. You might notice this is a different bed. That's just because my camera overheated, and then I've really watered it well. I added the straw back on top for a mulch and then laid them out into a grid formation just to make sure that pollination is going to happen well. This is important rather than growing them in a line, which can make pollination much more difficult. And then I went ahead and buried them at the same level as they were previously, not any deeper. They will be absolutely fine at that height. The mulch is simply to keep the moisture in the ground, but it's not something that you need to necessarily do yourselves. And then I gave them a really good water, and we'll keep them watered now for the next week or two, and then we'll allow the rain to take care of them unless it's a really very hot day or week.